Boys and girls, I was trying to put this little puzzle together. Wow. Of course, this puzzle's kinda, wow. Oh, it's so cute, but it's so easy. Let's see. Oh, it's animal puzzles. So that helps just to know that. Does this go here? Pretty cool, huh? This is the page that I needed to be on. You know what these are? This website is maxiage.com. It's one of my favorite shopping places for my students. And this is white canes. We've been talking about white canes because some of my students use them for mobility, for traveling, and they provide much independence. But did you know that there were so many different kinds? So we were looking at them because next month is White Cane Day, and we did discover that there are several kinds rather. Like this one has a rollerball tip and it folds so she can, or a small child can put it away and put it under their seat. Well, these kind are for support as well. That means this person has trouble walking and they're probably visually impaired as well. But these down here is what my student thought was cool because the tip is very different from what she's used to, from what I'm used to too. This one is for people that go hiking or on the beach or whatever, extremely independent folks who can move pretty fast and sometimes even jog, because that's what this tip is for. Pretty cool, huh? Well, it seems like that would be a struggle to learn that if you needed one right now. Now you've heard this phrase called "the struggle is real." That's a real phrase that a lot of people use because we struggle sometimes, but in the struggle we learn, we become better. Just like my students become better at using the cane, getting around, moving around their school, their neighborhood, in the public. And at first it's a struggle and it may be hard, but will come out different than when we went in. It's because you see, Christians face many struggles, but God is with us in each of them. So today's story, or our lesson today, is called Keep Plugging Away. And MOG and I are so glad to see you because you are in Miss Kathy's class. Today's lesson, the scripture comes from Genesis, the 32nd chapter, verses 22 through 30. One of the key verse says, "The man said, 'Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome.'" Genesis, the 32nd chapter, verse 28. Prayer time. We're going to let you insert your prayer here, and you can stop the video and get your prayer leader to lead you in prayer, or you can pray silently as long as you have a time to talk with God. Words to know: the first is overcome, to deal with successfully, to prevail, to win. Sean overcame his fear of the boogeyman once his dad told him that there was no such things as monsters. Peniel, the place where Jacob wrestled God. Peniel is the name given by Jacob to the place in which he grappled with the Lord. Possessions is the next word. Items that someone owns. The rich businessman was proud of his many expensive possessions. Wow, what a thing to be proud of, right? Tendon, a tough cord or band of dense white connective tissue that links a muscle to some other part as a bone. Because Jacob injured his tendon while wrestling with God, many Jewish people will not eat the tendon of an animal. Wrench, to injure by a violent twisting or straining force. Daryl accidentally wrenched his left knee while playing football last Friday. From the source, let's look at from the NIV version of the Bible. That night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. The man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Now let's look at the key verse again. The man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Now, in our lesson book, the title is Keep Plugging Away. On the night that Jacob was staying in the camp, he got up and took his wives, female servants, and children and crossed the Jabbok River. How many children did it say he had? 11 children. Wow, what a family. After they crossed, he sent all over for his belongings. He sent for his belongings, and Jacob was left all alone. Then a man wrestled with him until the sun rose. When the man saw that he was not winning wrestling with Jacob, he touched Jacob's hip socket and placed it out of joint. The man then said, "Let me go. The sun is rising." Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" He answered, "Jacob." Then the man said, "Today your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with men, and you have won. So your name will be Israel." "What is your name?" Jacob asked the man. But he replied, "Why do you want to know my name?" Then he blessed Jacob there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "I have seen God face to face, and I am still alive." The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, walking with a limp because of his hip. Questions. When Jacob was alone, a man came and did what to him? The man wrestled with him. When Jacob was alone, a man came and did what to him? The man wrestled with him. When the man saw that he was not winning, what did the man do to Jacob? He touched Jacob's hip socket and placed it out of joint. Then the man said, "Let me go. The sun is rising." What did the man ask him? He asked, "What is your name?" When Jacob answered, what did the man say? "Today your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel. You have struggled with God and with men." Let's see if you remember this story. Let's see. Complete each statement by filling in the blank with the correct word from today's lesson. One is blank took his wives, female servants, and his children up and crossed the Jabbok River. All right, of course, Jacob goes in there. The sun rose above Jacob as he passed Peniel. He was walking with a limp because of his, that's right, hip. And number 3, a man blank with Jacob until the sun rose. Wrestled goes in the blank. Number 4, the man said, "Today your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel." Right. And number 5, then the man said, "Let me go, the sun is rising." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you blank me." Bless me. Correct. Okay, the next one. Oh, I want you to fill this out. I love these word games. Okay, we're going to put all of these in alphabetical order. We're not going to do them here, but I do want to ask you, what word will be the first word if you were to put these in alphabetical order? Jabbok, God; Jacob, bless; wrestle, man; hip, sunrise; Peniel, and wives. Well, of course, bless would be the first one on that row. So what you can do is fill these out. See if you can get the rest of them in alphabetical order. You could either stop the video or you can do this later, but take a picture of your answer or write it on another sheet of paper and send it to me so I can see how you did and how it matches up with my answers, okay?
The struggle is real. The contemporary story for September 18th, 2022. When Mom walked in from the store, she found Alexa sitting at the kitchen table, frustrated and upset.
Alexa, what's wrong?
Mom, I'm frustrated. Every time we have to decide who will be my partner in class, I have to choose between my friend Malik and picking the new girl, Sajid.
Well, what's the problem?
What I'm struggling with is that I want to pick Malik, but I really want to pick Sajid. She is from another country and doesn't have many friends. I think it's wrong that no one wants to be her friend. Mom, I know what it feels like to be new. I am struggling because I don't want anyone else to feel that way.
Well, I understand why you're struggling. You're struggling to make the right decision. That can be hard sometimes.
Mom, the struggle is real to do what is right.
But I think your struggles will bless you and others once you decide.
What choice do you think Alexa made? Why was Alexa frustrated and upset?
She was upset because she had to choose between her friend Malik and Sajid, a new student, as a partner.
What was her struggle?
She wanted to select Malik, but she also wanted to select Sajid because she was new to the school and did not have many friends. No one wanted to be her friend.
What did Mom tell Alexa?
She told Alexa that she was struggling to make the right decision, which can be hard, but also a blessing.
The end. You can be the voice of a cartoon character in a contemporary story cartoon. To find out how, get a parent to send an email to mskathy'sclass@mail.com.
Hello, Ruby Red Panda here. Can you sing my Ruby Red Panda email song? Do it by yourself or with your friends and email it to me, alright? But right now it's time for exploring the story in Ruby's lab. With me, Ruby. Hello everyone, Ruby here. Have you ever faced a struggle where you were determined to win? As a scientist, I face struggles all the time. Dr. George Washington Carver faced many struggles as an African American scientist. God bless the world because of his struggles. We have all types of products made from the peanut and the sweet potato. Because of who? George Washington Carver. In what ways have you struggled? Have you struggled to be heard in class? Do you know anyone struggling to get food? Struggles are real, but the blessings of God are as well. Let's discuss how you've been blessed because of struggle. You can drop me an email, you can drop me a letter, postcard, at P.O. Box 74514, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70874. Or you can drop me that email at Ruby Red Panda. I said Ruby Red Panda at mail.com. Oh yeah.
All right, so here's your lesson review for today. Key verse. Our lesson scriptures from Genesis, the 32nd chapter, 22nd through the 31st verses. The key verse. The man said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Today's story shows that God is accepting of our struggle with him and actively encourages us to face them and him head on. Yes, he wants us to have a relationship with him. Now, Jacob demanded a blessing. He demanded, and it shows that he finally understood that God's blessing can't be forced, but only given freely. Because you remember what happened in the last week's story, how he had to, as the trickster, he tricked his brother out of his birthright. So you can't force God, but he'll give you blessings freely. But you have to have a relationship with God. So God renamed Jacob, and his new name was showing that he had a new relationship with God, and God had a new relationship with him. And that is the importance or the emphasis in the change of Jacob's character from a trickster to communicating with God. So he gets a new name, and that's Jacob. Is it Jacob? The new name is Jacob. That's right. His new name is Israel. God's answer to Jacob's giving his all in the struggle and his finally giving in to God's power was a life-changing blessing. So he deserved a name change, right? Well, boys and girls, have a good week. And if you want to look up some more about White Cane Day, you can go to different places like Braillebug, braillebug.org, and let's see, it's the Perkins School for the Blind, or just look up White Cane Day. Just Google White Cane Day and you'll see it. It's coming up soon. Right now we have to go, and we love you. God loves you too. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click like. Bye-bye, boys and girls.